Hi, Davi here, and today we have a new episode in the Art Review series, and today we'll be checking out the work of Varguy. I found this artist via Twitter or X, so super glad I found their work. They do have a rather interesting style in that, in a way, it's simple, meaning if you look at their line work, let's say the edges, it doesn't even taper to a point. Usually, it's just like a fixed round brush. And I even see a little bit of jitter sometimes. Like you can see like the shake in their hand. I'm not sure if that's like maybe they just refuse to use like stability or some kind of stabilization. And it kind of adds to that kind of human vibe. Like it's drawn, or it helps make it look less vectoral. Because sometimes when you use like a very basic round brush with no pen pressure sensitivity at all, it can look a bit like vector-ish. So adding a bit of like shake on the line, it does make it look more sketchy. And if you look at the coloring, it's one flat or a bunch of flat colors. There's no texture even, it looks like. And then shadow. Although you do see a little bit of texture in the shadow part, I do see some noise, some kind of grit. I'm gonna guess it's like noise. Maybe there's a little bit of like soft brush use, kind of in the center. I'm not sure if my eyes are fooling me, but yeah. But they look kind of simple, but it just seems so like I wouldn't be able to do this. Right? I'm gonna guess they have like an initial rough sketch and then they do this kind of simplified ink over, right? And again, look at the line work here. Look at the way the clouds are done. It's so like simple, very big sort of strokes. I don't see a lot of like hatching. It's mainly about the contours. Sometimes the lines don't even meet in some areas. And yeah, it's almost like if you look at the shadows, it's like, I'm guessing just on multiply layer. And yeah, not much texture. I do like this one. So we do see a goldfish and a mermaid kind of at the bottom, right? I do like the way they simplify their figures. You can tell that the actual like humanoid, or not humanoid, but the actual human girl here, she's a bit more, maybe it's because she's in the foreground, so there's going to be more anatomical detail. But if you look at the mermaid in the background, lower left, she's kind of more simplified, more chibi-ish in a way. Well, it's not a chibi, it's just a more simplified version. But yeah, I do like the way they simplified their forms. Same thing with the goldfish. The two on the left hand side, they're a bit more simple compared to the one on the right hand side because it's closer to us. And if you look at the bottom, look at how the fish are illustrated. Very like sketchy, very sort of gestural, but it's not like you can tell where the contours are essentially, right? And I guess they just know how not to overdo the anatomical details. They know enough or when to stop when it comes to detail. And I do like the consistency too, right? Look at the line work. If you look at the edge, hardly any taper. The colors are basically flats. Even the shadows, you can tell by the trees, they're using a basic round brush for that. Pretty cool. And I guess they're focusing a lot on narrative art here, or the story. This one looks like a Ghibli kind of film, based on the anatomy of the face. And we have some puffer fish, I think. So we have a cat. Oh, it's a witch, kind of a schoolgirl, but it's a part-time witch maybe. And we have a cat here, kind of grabbing her hat. Yeah, look at the illustration. Same thing. Basic brush for the ink work, no pen pressure. You do see that kind of wavy line. You will see this a lot in like urban sketching. They don't mind adding that kind of jittery, kind of a squiggly line. Even the way the trees are drawn, it's like a spiral, but it works somehow. But I guess when they do add values or color, they know how to make it atmospheric. So it looks like there's actual like atmosphere in the piece. So it doesn't look all, because they do use a lot of like flat colors. Even the way the the way they add shadows. They just use basic brushes, like a very not brushes, like a basic round brush. But if you keep coloring stuff that way, it can often make your artwork look very sort of like in one spot. But adding, knowing when to play, knowing how to play with the values, and I guess a little bit of like soft brush use helps to add that necessary atmosphere. So in a way, it does compensate eventually. So even if the rendering style is fairly simple, the line work is fairly simple, the way they handle the values helps to make the piece look so like real or like solid. Oh, this one's kind of creepy because we do see a bunch of masks here on her like shelving. So maybe she is some kind of like witch. Kind of creepy, but I don't know. Kind of an emo chick, maybe. I don't know. Who knows? Nice cat. Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. A bunch of girls here. Tracksuits. I'm guessing they're runners, track stars, or maybe it's just like a PE class. Who knows? Interesting. We have a bunch of flying cats here. Again, look at the line work. Basic round brush. No textures at all. But a good example here of how they play with the values is if you just look at the cats, the further the cat goes, the more simplified the anatomy, but also the lighter it becomes. So that's a good example of how they can make these sort of simple drawings feel more 3D. Yeah, I've seen this guy before. Is it a Zelda? I don't know. I don't play games, but I've seen this guy so many freaking times. It's a blonde hair guy, or sometimes a chick, but they have elf ears, blue eyes, blonde hair, and they have a sword. But yeah, so we have a robot guy here, and the pigeon. I like how you can tell it's a pigeon just because of the color pattern. For those of you who've seen pigeons, it looks like an Ewok. Oh, sorry, is it an Ewok? Fuck. The Star Wars thingy with they're riding these big machines. Forgot the name. Because the eyes remind me of those like creatures. I forgot the actual term, but yeah. Oh, more witches. They're so hot. Reminds me of the anime Wistoria. I do like the anime. It's kind of an overlooked show. I don't think many people watched it, but it's I like the style of the show, like the way the characters were drawn, the anatomy. Very pretty drawings or animations. Oh, this one's cool. So they're walking a dog. It's like a Japanese dog. I forgot the name. But yeah, look at that. Very cool storytelling. And you don't need a bunch of brushes. In this case, I think they even have like a square brush. It's not even a circle brush. It's like a square freaking brush. You don't need much. Even the anatomy, it's very simplified. Sometimes the lines don't even meet. It almost looks somewhat gestural, right? You're just capturing the major sort of a gist of the major masses, but that's it. But it shows you the moment you add like colors or shadows, you don't need a very like refined drawing. It just needs to sort of make sense, like mass wise, and then adding the colors and the values can sort of add more information and can compensate for the lack of detail in your line work, right? So I guess a lot of these pieces work well when you do add the color and the values. I don't think they will have as strong of an impact if they just left it as a line work sort of a thing. Yeah, the colors, the values, they do bring it home. Reminds me of the Ents in Lord of the Rings. Pretty cool. I like the concept. You know, when you do things this way, like you have no choice but to just focus on the major like story, the fundamentals, the design, because you're not wasting time with like, you know, brush variety and, you know, making your illustrations look so like painterly. It's just straight to the point. Oh, it reminds me a little bit of the work of Kwang Kim, I think, because they have a couple of drawings where I think they're using like a basic round brush with hardly any pen pressure sensitivity. So I think I did an art review of their work as well. We have a bunny guy in the center. Look at that. Right? The line work also looks kind of sketchy, right? It's not super, like they could go further and refine things, but they just stop there. Oh, they did blur the background. It really does help push the entire atmosphere back, and helps you focus a lot or way more on these three characters. They're kind of having a moment here. Clearly, this bunny is sort of in disagreement to this chick. She looks more, based on the way she's standing, she's more stern, and this guy's kind of like waiting on their decision. It looks like it. So they're having a bit of a, even the way the bunny's standing, it's kind of a triangle sort of position. So they're kind of standoffish, I guess. Same thing for the woman. They're both standoffish, right? You can tell a lot just by the storytelling. And is the illustration finished? Is it super clean? Is it highly rendered? No, but it works. It works. Look at that. It's so interesting. And they're kind of like editorial illustrations. I think with the last artist we reviewed, Frank, I forgot their name, Frank something. It's so cool being able to tell some kind of narrative in like one image. Which I do think it's a little more challenging than, or it has its own challenges than, say, sequential art like comics or manga or doujin. Cool lanterns here. And I like how they're the accent color. Everything else is like cool or blue. But you have this like floating lanterns, and you have this huge freaking dragon that's sort of breaking out of the road. So cool. And again, it's mostly in flats. Some gradients here and there. But yeah, it makes you want to draw, right? Now this one does have a lot more lines, but the principle is still the same. So maybe she's like a frog goddess. Because even the way her face is drawn, she looks like a frog in a way. Or a frog adjacent. But the frogs also look cute as hell. Oh, we even have a snake, so maybe she's kind of like a reptilian. Amphibian. It's actually kind of hot. I'm feeling something. Reminds me of one of the characters from Hero Academia, I believe. Like one of the characters looks like a frog for some reason. Damn, a chicken with armor. Look at that. Pretty cool. I like how they all seem like they're from the same team based on the costume design. They all have like a dark element to them. The coat, dark armor, the dark kind of a, well, coat again, or cape. And again, and they have like a gold sort of accent, right? You can see it in their masks, in their, some elements in their armor, in their swords, and even in the ends of their like robe. Pretty cool. Oh god, they have like a fairy. Look at this. This part right here. They have a fairy sort of trapped. That's effed up. Or maybe it's, they have like consent, who knows? But yeah, there's a lot more here, so check out their work. I do think they have an Instagram. It's also linked in this like character design references page. But yeah, hopefully enjoy their artwork, because I definitely enjoy theirs. And when it comes to like simplicity, just getting your ideas out, you don't need much. And it does help you focus a lot more on the story. Reminds me of Zootopia. Turns out the sheep were actually the bad guys. But yeah. So that's it for this art review of, what's her name again? Varguy. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!